Alright, what's up fellow YouTubers? Just a quick note before the video starts. The RDL clan is up. It is not RDL. It's not RDL altogether. It's capital R-D-L. Somebody was already using the tag RDL, so we had to add the dashes in for it to work. Royal Dripping League is the name, with spaces, unlike our channel, and capitals. The picture is the same as our YouTube channel picture, and I am the commander. Right now we have a Duke in it. We also have two of my other buddies, UC and Oak Anheim. I already sent invitations to Blue, Bobby, and all the others. I'm just waiting for them to join. So without further ado, let's get on to the video.
Turn it up.
Good day fellow YouTubers, Tripedro here. Today I'm going to talk about an issue that's quite common for older tankers. Lemming trains. Yes, it's that rage and ceiling, tear bringing, and chat colluding problem everyone who's played World of Tanks long enough is familiar with. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can turn that horrible tactical failure into an utter success. How to, instead of raging at your team and waste the first 3 minutes of your game asking for help in the lone flank, be useful. How to, instead of trying to be the hero of the battle by rushing forward as if though it were a normal battle and die miserably trying to cover a lone flank, possibly surviving. And finally, how not to end up dead within the first 5 minutes of the game and rage at your team for being utter noobs and retards for lemming down whatever flank. This video is going to teach you how to cope with a very annoying situation and turn into a victory for you, and also how to keep about 20 years of your life you would have lost raging in chat, and how to keep about 20 years of your teammates' lives they would have lost defending themselves and raging at you. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Alright, so the first map I'm going to talk about, one that's quite infamous for some of its lemming trains. It's not the most infamous, but it is quite infamous for it. Karelia. Pretty sure a lot of you know that most people like to go down to the south bit there. So yeah, this bit right here. And it can be quite annoying when you're stuck like up here or here, and all of your team is down there, and so your artillery is also supporting them, and you have no support up there. It can be quite annoying. But like I said, today I'm not gonna be criticizing lemming trains. I'm not gonna be saying it's a horrible thing to do. It is, but that's not the point of this video. I'm gonna teach you how to deal with that. So, alright, I'm just gonna change the color so it's easier to see. Alright, so let's just say that most of your team lemming train down this way, as they usually do, and you have about 3 or 2 tanks that are up here. Okay. Now, for the sake of argument, let's say that they're tank destroyers or mediums, or so let's say a heavy, okay, whatever they are. What you're gonna do is you're not gonna want to cross this line here. Just draw like a straight line through this, because you can't push up with only 2 tanks. What you're gonna do is you're gonna set up a defense so that anybody who's coming along this side will be slowed down, or if you're very good, taken out. You're not gonna be able to push. You're not gonna be able to make much of a difference on this side. What you're going to do is you're going to hold the flank and hope that these guys north here can take care of themselves and push on. So, what do you want to do? Well, let me just keep that line there. Okay, so what I would do is I would get the most mobile tank. If you have the luck of having a light tank or medium tank that's coming along with you, set up somewhere along here, here, or here to get some spots in. And then you have your tank destroyer set up here, or perhaps here to defend. That way you have a good, in both spots you have a good clear shot at most of the flank down here, as so. And also the mediums, they have a very good view range around this area here, around these areas, so anywhere they try to get you from, you're gonna spot them, and your tank destroyer, whoever's the guy in the back, is going to be able to support you. Now, if you're lucky and you get more than just 2 or 3 tanks, let's say 4, what you could do is you could get 1 or 2 scouts, let's see, one here and one here, and you could set up a dual defense right here. One would focus on this area, one would focus on this area here. And also, if the enemy team is all charging down one side, you could also have both tank destroyers focus in the same area, or whatever is back there. Let's say this area here. And what you could have is this guy here goes for a scout at the back here, See if you can get lucky and come from behind here. So after that, he comes around this rock, or if you can't do that and the enemy happens to be over here, if you have a good gun depression, you could position yourself here, take some shots at these guys' asses, hopefully set them on fire, and that'll be that. But on the very unlikely and annoying event that you're the only one who happens to be supporting this flank, what you could do is you could bury yourself around here in the base. Make sure you find a good bush that you could detect enemies, or you could be here. And what you could do is you could spot them, take a shot, go around the rock, relocate to an area somewhere here, and shoot them from there, and just repeat that process. Okay, now for the guys that are going to Lemming down there. Okay, now what you cannot do is, let's say if you all Lemming down here, is you cannot be waiting around here, and let's say here, the usual camping spots. No, you cannot camp. You cannot camp, because if you camp, you're stopping your entire team's process, because you're the only guys who can really effectively push, and if you're camping, you're just not making any progress. Also, if you're camping, you're giving your opponent a chance to take you out one by one. What you want to do is you want to group together, maybe to a couple of different groups, but just stay together overall, and what you want to do is you want to push together and overwhelm them with numbers, because if they're, let's say, tank destroyers here, the usual light and medium here, and a good couple heavies here, if you manage to go around this area here or this area here, you're going to have some cover from the ledge here and the big rock here, and you could use that to get some cover and push around with the big group here. Or what you could do is you could simply just go all together and just push straight forwards, because it doesn't matter if they have the strongest tank here. If you have 4, 5, 6 tanks, or God forgives, 12 tanks, 13, 12, 11 tanks, which is probably what you're gonna have if you have that big of a Lemming train. Just all go. The guy could be in a T-110A5 and it could be a bunch of IS-3s. If all of you work together and push together, you're going to overwhelm him. What you want to do is you want to get right up close and be able to shoot his weak spots, keep him busy, and then start going around him, shooting him from all directions. He won't be able to take all of you out. And just repeat the process with each tank. So it's important that you concentrate fires, because let's say they have 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks, which would be a good amount. If you have, let's say, your 12 tanks here, and like you're shooting at random people. Let me just decrease my brush size here. And if you're shooting at like random people there, random directions, it's not gonna end well for you, because you're splitting your fire, meaning that you're not that well. If one player sucks at shooting whatever you're shooting at, the effective fire is going to suck. If you have more than one player shooting at them, chances are you're gonna have at least one guy penetrating them. Also, you want to take them out quickly. If you give them time to take you out one by one, they will. You have to overwhelm them and go. Okay, so let's say that you've taken out all the guys here. What you want to do is one of two things. You want to either go for the cap, just go straight for the enemy team, and just take out whatever they have here. Let's say tank destroyers, SPGs, and such. Or what you want to do is you want to have about 2 or 3 guys stay here for a cap to distract the enemy, as so. And you have the rest of your guys go around here, freaking mouse, and take care of the guys who are still here. Especially if your guys down here manage to keep them. If the guys down here manage to keep them busy, that's what you want to do. If they fell, you go for the cap. All right. Another map that's quite infamous for its Lemming trains, or at least a very specific Lemming train, is Pearl River. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know this area here is a huge choke point, and it's a very interesting area. There's usually one of two things usually happens. Either the south team camps, sets an ambush here around this certain area to take out the enemy team who's advancing from this area here, Or the south team pushes up to position here, here, and possibly here to take them out that way. Now, what you want to do is that if you did Lemming down here, again, you can't camp. Go forward. If the enemy team is split, like here, 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 that's another good thing about this side, because if you're Lemming from this side, the enemy team will probably be split up into 3 different groups. What you want to do is you want to take out the most dangerous threat, let's say the highest tier tank, go for that, come around the back and take these guys out that way, and stay together. Or what you could do is basically the same thing, but this time instead you keep one guy here, or 3-4 guys here, keep these guys brawling with them, keep them alive, take out the biggest threat and then come around and flank them that way, and when these guys are busy with the flankers, these 2 guys move up and take them out that way. That way you'd have them surrounded. And then after that, just proceed on to the enemy base, which should be here right now, though in the other patch will be somewhere, I think it was here. But anyhow, you go forward, you go to the enemy cap. Now again, depending on what your minority did, you're going to do one of 2 things: cap, or you're going to go flank and kill the guys that are still held up. Now, if you're the guys who are unfortunate enough to be the defenders, again, the usual brawling spot would be this area, or this area here. You cannot go there. You're going to be overwhelmed by tanks here, tank destroyers here, and their actual tanks here. You cannot do that. You cannot put yourself in that position. What you want to do is you want to set an ambush, I would say around here, this line here. Have a couple tank destroyers here, which is a good spot, or maybe here. Dig yourself into the corner here if you're heavy, or be ready to flank around the positions here and here if necessary. Also, for SPGs, they will play a big role in this. Your SPG's usual spot is something like here, 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 and here. Now, if your team is pushing there, don't support them. They'll be good on their own. What you want to do is you want to if you want to get into a position where you can help the guys who are going to be stuck over in this line here. So I would say position here would be good, because you would have shots over here and around the corner there. Or if you're a more aggressive SPG, so something that aims quickly or has good aim, let's say the FV304 or the 13F3 or such, tanks with low firing arcs, meaning that they're better for TD modes, you could dig yourself in position here or under here. Make sure you have artillery cover and just TD mode whatever comes around the corner. And again, don't cross the line. Very important. If you Lemming train, you have to be aware of the fact that you do not have the power to push. I don't care if you have over 1 million battles. I don't care if you have every tank in the game. I don't care if you've been playing since beta test. No matter the amount of experience, you are at a disadvantage. Do not push. You bury yourself into a position that you can defend and hold out as long as possible. And you hope that these guys here have the common sense to not camp and push. Now, if you manage to hold up, what these guys could do is they could come around through the city here and then shoot at whatever's left over here, or they could come around through the valley and shoot them this way, force these guys out so your tank destroyers could get them from here. Or if you didn't manage to keep yourselves alive, or if you know you're gonna lose, what you want to do is that if you're the last one alive, don't stay. Don't stay. You're not gonna hold out long. Even if there's only 2 enemy tanks left, they will still hurt you. They will still kill you before you can kill them. What you do is you run like hell. Go to this flank or whatever. Just get out of there. But don't be too far. But don't go crazy and go all the way here or there or whatever. You want to stay in a position where if it's necessary, you can go back, reset, and get your ass out of there. Because what's gonna win the game is these guys here who Lemming and cap. Okay, you're going to keep them busy so these guys can cap. And the guys who are Lemming down here, don't all go to the cap. Don't be complete and utter morons. If you have enough experience, you should know that 4 people capping is the max speed. So have 4 people on cap, and don't be out in the open here. Be either in the ledge down here or the rock that's there. So you have 4 people here. Now that leaves you with around 6, 5, or 7 other guys if you're pretty good, or 4, 3 or others. So you keep one guy here to slow that reset down. You keep a guy around here to slow that down, and you keep a guy here. That way, no matter wherever they come from, you're gonna get them. And also you have somebody in the road here, so that if they try to reset from this spot here, which is a very good spot if you have a good view range, is spotted and you'll be able to defend yourselves against them. If you have more than just 4 or 5 guys, what you could do is you leave 1 or 2, 3 people to defend, and then you send another 2 guys up here to keep yourselves to defend. So you have 3 guys in strategic positions to defend and spot, and the other 3 or 4 guys will be up and dealing with them, while the other 4 guys are capping. Okay? That's what you do. This map here is very infamous for its lemming trains. Where to? Right there. That area is a huge lemming train spot. I cannot tell you this how many games I've had where basically 10, 12, 13, or even 14 people, if there's only 1 artillery, have gone this way. It is nearly impossible to get a decent split in this map. People always either lemming this way or that way. So yeah, it's quite rare to get an even split here. Do I complain about it? A little, yes, but I don't cry about it the whole game. What I do, again, adapt. So let's say for the sake of argument that you lemming this way. Okay? So let's say your side lemming this way. So this is an old map. I couldn't get one from 8.11 plus. This entire area here will be a city. Also, there will be buildings and cover there. So let's say your team lemmings this way. What you want to do is you want to get a scout somewhere like here, here, or here to detect anybody coming along here. And you want to set up your tank destroyers nowhere further than this. See this square here? You cannot leave that square if you're the other people. Set up here, 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 or if you're very little in numbers, you want to set up here, 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 possibly here. Just make this circle around your cap, and do not let them in. Now, if you only have tank destroyers, you're gonna camp like bitches. Okay, you cannot spot, you cannot go forward, you cannot be aggressive. I don't care if you're in a Yag Tiger, you are not mobile enough to handle yourself against a bunch of mediums. And if you're up forward, the other guys are probably not going to be able to help you. So, stay together, stay close, make sure you can support each other. Now, if you do have a medium or a light, something that's mobile, or a heavy that's got some armor, draw the square, not the circle. You're going to have the guy up here, here, or here, possibly here, spawning these guys, okay? Here is very risky, so is here. I say the most safe, the furthest you can push while still being relatively safe is up here. Try to stay within the square. So now have him set up here so that he can spot this general area here. So where that's the usual slaughter place for enemy teams, but just happens so he's able to spot. And you're gonna have tank destroyers set up here, 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 and here. Or if you want to play a little more defensively, you can have your heavy up here and have your tank destroyer set up around the bays, like so. Don't bother with this area here. This tank destroyer can handle anybody who's trying to flank, and also your team who is lemming trained has a responsibility to push here. So again, the usual rule. You lemming, you have your guys defending. What do? Push hard. Don't be like the guy here, here, and then here, there, there, there. No. What you do is you stay together. You make one big pushing force, and you either go here or there. Whichever way you go, go together. Overwhelm them. Stay together. You're stronger that way. Okay, so after that, you're going to push up, if you manage to take that out. Stay within the railroad line, because that's going to give you some cover. Until you get out at the little ditch which I think ends about here. Take out enemy artillery as quick as you can, and any enemy's tank destroyers that will be located probably here, and here, and frickin' cap. Okay? No flanking. This map, there's no flanking. You are wide open if you flank. There's no cover, and you're in a big. And even if you're in a big group, doesn't matter. These guys are gonna be able to shoot you before you shoot them. So cap. Also, remember the 4-tank rule? Yeah, have 4 tanks on cap, and then have tanks set up here, here, and here. Have somebody spotting from here, here, and here, and just cap their asses out. Same thing for if you're spawned on the other side. You come along this side here, you push forward. Be careful if the enemy tech charges. You're probably going to be around this area here, and just go for it. And if you're defending, this here is the line. You can set up scouts here, 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 God heavens here if they are very good. Have tank destroyers here, and be ready to shoot. Do not cross this line. I don't care if it's the only guy left. Do not cross the line. These guys are pushing, not you. You're defending and giving these guys time to get their asses in the enemy base. Alright, so here's a game I played in T150, a tank that I've recently acquired. I don't have, well, at this point I don't have the 107 yet, so I don't expect, any epic gameplay, any epic damage or scores from me. Because this replay is not about me being epic, it's not about me getting good scores, me, carrying and all that. It's about what this video's been about all this time, Lemming trains. And this is actually a good video to show what I've been talking about in the last couple 20 minutes. Because it shows how to deal with it, and it shows people dealing with it quite effectively. Using their brains, well, at least the people who are Lemming training. And I did contribute, I did tell them what to do it. But I'm actually surprised, because they actually did do what I told them to do. So that actually surprised me. So anyhow, let's watch the replay and see what happens. Okay, so we're doing the classic Lemming train that I just talked about. Going to the big choke point at the B8, C9 area. So, let's see what happens. Alright, so I'm just seeing if these guys are gonna camp this area or push. Seems like they're gonna push, so I'm gonna go with them. It's just how it works. It doesn't really matter this area if you push or camp. What matters is you do it, together. Because if you send one guy out there to die and the others camp, you're wasting a guy. So if he goes forward, go forward with him. You might think it's a noob decision, but if you all go together, it's not a noob decision. Okay, so we're Lemming. So it's not a complete Lemming train, but it's a very big. But it's definitely not a very good split of the team either. Bloody hell, that Avira is always getting in front of my minimap. Okay, so just telling the team about the. Yeah, 1 second. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to tell them what to do. Okay, so no camping, we have to push. Let me see. Yeah, we have to push there. I'm telling them to overwhelm them with the numbers. Not sure why the messages aren't showing. Or if I just haven't typed it yet, but I'm telling them. Yeah, there it is. Valley push hard to Lemming train, so no time to camp. Push hard and work together. Bloody hell, yeah, you're gonna see some pretty crappy gameplay from me here. This is just one of those games where I couldn't hit the wide side of a barn from the inside. So yeah, trying to take some pop shots there. So anyhow, can you see what they're doing here? Probably not because of the Avira. Okay, look at what we're doing here. We're not camping. We're all going together, we're overwhelming them with our numbers. That's what you do. You don't camp and wait for them to pick you off one by one. We all work together, we all overwhelm them. Okay? That's what you do. And our team also, let me just mention, is doing a pretty good job there, because as you can see, well, these guys are being a little aggressive, but these guys are doing a good job. See, they're staying back, they're keeping the base safe, or at least I hope they are. I don't think they're keeping artillery very safe. But still, they're doing what they're meant to be doing. They're keeping the base safe. They're not being idiots. They're not pushing up with only 2-3 tanks. They're being defensive the way they're meant to. That's why I'm actually showing this replay, because they are doing what I told you to do in this video quite effectively, and just the way I hope they would. So I'm quite happy with this team. It's actually one of the best team play I've seen in a while in World Tanks. The best teamwork I've seen. Again with the Avira. Thing pops up one more time. I'm just not giving it a name. I'm sorry, but it's getting really annoying. Okay. Trying to get a shot into that IS, and he still penetrates me even though I was angled. Shot my little laces early. I couldn't even blow his tracks off. Yeah, like I said, not a very. You're not gonna see very good gameplay from me. I sucked. This game I sucked. But anyhow, like I said, this video is not about me. It's about the team. Well, that's trollish. But anyhow, okay, take out that T25/2, T150, Tiger 2 in the back, and the Tiger 2 is one of the enemy team's biggest tanks. So normally people would be afraid of it. No, you don't do that. I don't care if he's the biggest tank. What you do is you all go together and wow. Even the side of the I can't even penetrate the side of the Tiger 2 with this gun. This gun is really not that good on the T150. It's got good rate of fire, but if you're in the bottom tier, it's not a very good gun. Okay, so now look at this. If we had camped, we would have lost half our force, but what did we lose? We lost no tanks, I think. We actually didn't lose a single tank here, or if we did, we only lost one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks all pushing together. This is a big lemming train, but since we all pushed together, we did take some damage. As you can see, that T25 took 1 alpha beating, so did I. But because we worked together and we overwhelmed them, even though these guys had 5 tanks and they were pretty good ones, they were their top tier tank. They were their top tiers. We still ended up winning them. Be quiet because we worked together. And see that? I have no idea what the hell that IS is doing. I don't know if he came back to defend base or if he was camping there all this time, but that's something you don't do. Just as a record. Also, if you're trying to defend base, don't be wide in the open. God. Yeah, I really did suck this game. See, I'm telling them again. Don't let them pick you off one by one. You all go together. I tried to push T150 out of the way, but apparently it didn't work. So anyhow, just trying to get in front of the RA gem. Don't stop. What are you doing? Don't stop. Okay, I have no idea where that shot went. It looked like it went right in for me. Okay. Keep moving. Don't stop. That was actually lucky it hit, but it didn't penetrate, so it doesn't matter. I'm being quite careful here. If you're worried about me camping, I'm not camping on purpose. I'm just staying back because I took a very big beating and I want to stay alive. The longer I stay alive, the more effective I am. Okay, that SU-152 is big trouble. Oh, Jang just missed a shot there. Okay, get moving. Don't stop for anything. Keep moving. Get into cover. That was lucky. And nice as well. Oh, T-32 is coming around. That's it. Focus your fire. Focus your fire. Oh, side shot of the Churchill 7's turret. That'll take that. And he stays there for some reason. Alright, more damage for me. Some damage I could use since I sucked so much. Okay, come on, Churchill. Okay, artillery's going for me. Okay, just typing something else for the team. Just telling them, keep doing this, you're doing great, you're overwhelming them with numbers, that's exactly what you want to do. Took a beating, but as long as we have the number advantage, we have to use it. We can't just like, oh, we have number advantage, okay, let's just keep playing normally. No. We have the number advantage, we have to use that advantage. Push hard. That's how you win with this. And the team understood that quite clearly. These guys were very aggressive, and they were being aggressive the way they were meant to. If these guys had camped back there in the valley, we would have lost a lot more tanks. Because to camp and shoot that way, you have to go one by one. But if you push hard and together, well, you go together. That is not exactly a very good way to say it, but wow, how did I not penetrate an RA jam? I have no clue, but still. Doesn't matter, it still doesn't matter now. Oh, is that guy gonna come around the other? Oh, is he? Is he gonna do it? Yep, he is. My kill. Nice, okay. Finally got a kill in this game. Okay. Stay behind the rock, keep capping. I'll put pressure on the enemy team that way. And let's see that. See, look at that. T-29 was camping the way it was meant to. Good job. However, at this point he doesn't need to be camping anymore because all the enemy team should be here. It's not dangerous for him to come up anymore. He can come up. This is the point where he should be moving up and supporting us. Not being back there. But still, can't complain when the guy did a good job defending the base. There's me getting killed by the Lorraine with splash damage. Son of a gun, got a lucky shot. But still. Oh well, can't. Lol. Just looking around here. Yeah. So that was basically it. I don't want to give you any spoilers. Don't know what this T-29 is doing. Actually, no, I do know now, but at this point I didn't know. Trust me, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh when you hear his reason. Yeah, I'm just telling him, okay, stop camping. Now's the time to move up. We all know where they are. Okay, so it's the only to take out that 122-44, we win. He's the only guy that can really pose much of a threat against us. 1 second, gotta get rid of that Avira thing again. Anyway, okay. So anyhow, just looking at the KB4's point of view here, seeing if he gets the, see if he can find the 122-44. And then look at T-29's excuse. He forgot he was playing. Well, we're not pissed off at him. The game's about to be won, so we don't really care. And that's it. We win by a capture. Good job. And that's GG.